So, welcome to day two training, guys. We literally want you to understand that we want you to win big in 2016 with solar and Nikki Lou's solar rescue. We've had some people out in San Antonio and El Paso talking to us about how amazing it is when the consumer finds out that every installation that we do, we donate $300 to a registered 501c3 nonprofit. Now, guys, the reason why we do things like that is because one, we care about our communities, our local communities, and two, we want to do stuff for others. Because when you take your eyes off yourself as a company and you care more about others, the company will just grow, and you never have to worry about income because people will help you build your company. So that being said, we want you to understand that we have your back 24/7. Anything you need as far as training and support, we're here to provide that for you. But this is day two training, and today what you're going to find out is you're going to find out a little more about the actual process, about net metering, how solar really works, and what we want you to understand is that you're going to have a foundation as far as knowledge. And like I was telling Deanne and Becky and Justin right now, what happens, guys, is a lot of times a lot of people don't have the proper knowledge. So they might have passion, but without knowledge, you really can't you can't benefit somebody, right? But when consumers find out that not only do you have the knowledge, but now you have the passion to combine with that, you become so magnetic. It's almost like your hair is on fire and people are coming from miles around to watch you burn. And I've seen it because I've seen a lot of new agents go out there, and when they're prepared, man, they're writing deals left and right. And I've seen some new agents that are not prepared, right? They're not trained, they don't go to training, and they struggle. So the only difference between them and you is you are actually on a training webinar. You're going to learn, what we're doing as far as procedures, policies, what is solar, because a lot of people, they know it involves the sun, but they don't understand the process. So that being said, let me just, well, all right, guys. Minimize this. Let me just expand this for everybody. All right, guys. So just like we said, this is day two training for Nikki Lou Solar Rescue. And what you're going to learn today, guys, you got some knowledge that's just going to be phenomenal. So we'll talk solar products for the garden and home. When looking into home solar power, many people are dismayed by the expenses. However, these prices need not be so discouraging. After the initial fees, a large amount of power can be saved in the long run. Home solar power will allow you to free yourself from utility companies and the instability of global energy markets. As your own energy provider, you're able to lock in power at a fraction of the cost you would be paying an electric company. As utility rates increase in the future, the difference will increase, leading to even more savings over the life of a solar energy system. In addition to this, many states have funded solar rebate programs or tax credits. As an example, guys, yesterday we were talking about South Carolina. One of the main reasons we jumped into South Carolina in the last 30 days is because not only do you get a 30% investment tax credit from the government, but you get a state incentive, which is 25%. And then also the local utility gives you what's called a PBI. So P as in Paul, B as in beta, I as in iota. PBI, it stands for performance-based incentive. Guys, you're talking about a home run in states like South Carolina because literally people are more willing to adopt solar technology because the benefit is so great. And then also, if more electricity is produced than needed, it can often be sold back to the utility company. This means that it is actually possible to make money by setting up a home solar power system. Not only do states have particular incentives, there are also federal options to help finance a residential solar power system. These incentives may apply in particular to solar power or deal more generally with renewable energy or renewable efficiency. So as an example, guys, a lot of people right now, when you buy an Energy Star rated appliance, you get a rebate from the government, right? You get a credit. If you do LED lighting, the government really wants to cut down on consumption. Once again, the reason why the government's trying to cut down on consumption and make everybody more efficient is because our national electricity grid is so old. And every year you hear it on the news, right? Rolling blackouts happening in California, Texas, New York, you name it. And the reason why that occurs is because as a population, we're growing, but our national grid needs so many upgrades. It's so old and it needs software upgrades, you name it. It needs everything. But this is a way for the government to take as much electrical load off the grid as possible by making people become more efficient and having people adopt solar energy, which is powerful. So now, financial incentives include such things as tax credits, deductions, and exemptions. They also include loans, bonds, grants, and of course, rebates. As stated, these may operate at a federal or state level. There are also benefits which particular utility companies may offer. Now remember guys, in Texas, where the majority of you are today, we don't have a state tax, so there's no state incentive, but there are, obviously everybody in Texas qualifies for the federal income tax credit, which is 30%. And then depending on what city you live in, depending on who the company is that controls your poles and wires, they're called transmission and distribution companies, they might have PBIs for those consumers in your area also. Now, certain incentives apply only to commercial, industrial, or nonprofit. In other words, non-residential buildings. So when searching for useful home solar power deals, double check that anything which catches your interest is available residential properties specifically. So net metering, guys, this is a very important term to understand because a lot of people will ask you, hey, as far as net metering, am I able to sell energy back to the grid? So net metering is a term for the electricity policy under which someone using renewable energy can receive retail credit for the energy they generate. In some instances, this credit will only apply to a portion of what is generated. And let me repeat that because you're going to get a lot of that. People are becoming a little more savvy about how solar works. So you'll get this question a lot from owners, especially owners that want to sell energy back to the grid. So net metering is the term for the electricity policy under which someone using renewable energy can receive retail credit for the energy they generate. In some instances, this credit will only apply to a portion of what is generated. According to the Energy Policy Act of 2005, all public utilities are required to make net metering available to any customer upon request. Different states are meeting this requirement at different levels. The variety in results comes from such things as how much value is assigned the credit and how long these credits can last. So guys, at present time, a lot of states have opened up to net metering, and a lot of states have given the ability to consumers to sell power back to the grid. There's some states like North Carolina that are a little bit stubborn, but the state legislature is working rapidly because obviously the Energy Policy Act of 2005 is a federal act. So ultimately, in the future, every state will be open to net metering. And if there's any questions, you can always ask us, and we'll tell you. We'll give you a chart that you can have. But for right now in Texas, we do have net metering in the majority of TDSPs. So also a state's regulations for the interconnection process between a home generator and the distribution grid can affect how easily or realistic of a choice this may be for some people. Interconnection just means, guys, every time somebody applies for a solar system, there's an interconnection form that they have to fill out. So we help them with that process, right? So as an example, if you live in Houston, it's CenterPoint. If you live in Dallas, Texas, or like myself that I live in Plano, I have Encore as my poles and wires company. So if, let's say, I was going to get a solar system on my home or my condo, I would just fill out an interconnection form between myself and my local utility so that they understand that I might possibly be wanting to not just connect a solar power system, but also sell energy back to the grid in the future. So one of the top resources to learn more about incentives for home solar power and other alternatives is the database of state incentives for renewables and efficiency. So basically, Desire. If you click on this link, guys, when you document, it's a hyperlink. So the right here where it says the database of state incentives for renewables and efficiency, you'll be able to click on that and it'll take you to the link so you can check out what all states are doing as far as incentives for home solar. So incentives may be searched by state, by type, or by eligibility. The website also has plenty of useful information on such relevant things as regulations, policies, codes, and standards. Most states offer some sort of financial stimuli for the use of renewable energy technology. For this reason, it is very worthwhile to research state incentives before installing a new system. It is also wise to investigate these matters even when only considering a home solar power system. Many people mistakenly assume that solar power is too expensive without really looking into it. And guys, in the past, obviously a lot of you have seen solar system popping up left and right. But in the past, the inverters, because now we have microinverters, but in the past we had inverters that looked like big transformers. So imagine the solar panels were big and bulky. They weren't as efficient as they are today. The inverters were huge, right? So now we have microinverters in place. So aesthetically, it's pleasing to the homeowner or the commercial business owner. But what's happening also is now everything is getting cheaper because of competition. Everything is becoming more efficient because of technology. So solar is a conversation that's being had globally, and the ability for you to really get in front of the trend. Because look, guys, they said the same about computers. They said, hey, not everybody will have computers in their home. It's a fad. You're crazy to think that everybody's going to have a computer in their house. And what do we have now? Not only does every home pretty much have a computer, every home has a tablet, an iPad, a smartphone. I mean, you name it, right? Like really every home now has adopted computer science or computers to a degree that's unbelievable to people, 10, 15, 20 years ago. So solar is kind of that same conversation. Right now, people are like, oh, that's a fad. That won't happen. But we have doubled installation year over last year. And the following year, the same thing will occur. So the reason why you have timing over everybody else right now, they say timing is to business as location is to real estate. And right now, everybody on this training webinar has timing. And I tell people, sometimes it's better to have timing than to be better at doing something or better at consulting about something. Because literally, guys, there's so many people out there that are low hanging fruit, meaning they just want information so take advantage of that tax credit. Okay. All right. So get control over utility costs. Utility rates tend to rise unpredictably in many markets all over the country. Thanks to innovations in solar technology and financing, it's now more affordable for homeowners to switch to solar power. And guys, this is just a nice little slide that I put in there for you all, so you can see the percent increase as far as the average monthly retail prices of U.S. I mean, going from 2000 to 2015, look at this scale. It just keeps going up, right? So as we know, guys, if you have a variable energy rate, you're at the mercy of your retail electricity provider. Your local retail electricity provider can be pretty much any company that sells energy to you. It can be Direct Energy, TXU, Spark, Reliant, Trick, you name it. Any REP in a deregulated territory buys your energy. For you that don't understand how energy prices work, every deregulated territory has a choice, right? You can choose who sells you your power at a discounted rate, but you cannot choose who maintains your poles and wires. That's still regulated. So as an example, we're talking about in Houston, everybody pretty much is a CenterPoint customer. In Dallas, Texas, and DFW, everybody pretty much is Encore customers as far as poles and wires. But then like in Louisville, you have Texas New Mexico Power, which is another TDSP, transmission and distribution utility. So what we tell people is, look, instead of having to worry about volatile rates, now you can actually lower your overall consumption rates, right? Because we share information on not only how people can get a solar system, but also any kind of load left over. And what I mean by that, guys, is sometimes people will only offset 40, 60, 75% of their electricity load. So what does that mean? They still are plugged to the grid, right? They're still connected to the grid. So they still because they're only cost 75% of the. So on the back end, you're going to be making some money on the electricity case so that you can have a database handy. So how much does solar energy cost? Today, solar costs less than traditional electricity in many markets. Whether you choose to pay as you go or purchase a system, we offer a range of financing options, which makes going solar simple and affordable. How will solar panels look on my roof? In a word or two, totally off. our profile design and premium front trim and the grid style. Solar power takes wires to an inverter, which is now a microinverter, where it's converted to power your home. When your solar power is produced, what? Net metering, right? Because if they have in that state, then that can sell my solar home. We get it. You might not stay in your home for the next 20 years, and that's okay. If you move, we'll be there to help transfer your solar power system to my property value. Does it go down if I have a solar system? And actually, it does not. It goes up. So, as an example, if a contract has gone up $50,000 in value, so it starts on the market at 300,000, not 250,000. Plus, it's been proven that people that have solar systems on a home, when somebody moves in, there's a home that doesn't have a solar system, and that was awesome. So now, is it better to buy or lease a solar panel system? This is a big question, right? And the reason why it's big is because people want to maximize their benefits. To answer that question, you need to think carefully about your goals. The decision you make shouldn't be based solely on how to save money on electricity, buy or lease solar panels. So immediate savings shouldn't be your only concern. Associated with solar power systems. So, guys, if somebody leases a system, they cannot benefit. And again, if you have a notepad, write this down. If somebody leases a lease, a solar system, they cannot benefit from the 30% investment tax credit. They cannot benefit from any state incentive or rebate. And they cannot benefit from a PBI from a local utility. The company that's installing the system will benefit from all those. That's why you see a ton of companies saying, "Hey, no, just lease our system. Don't purchase it," because they want to take advantage of the windfall of benefits that the government, the states, and the utilities provide them. So this is why we pretty much we're like 95% of our deals are financed or purchased outright. And the reason why is because we really show the consumer the benefit to owning their own solar system. Because again, we as a company don't want to take their incentives away from them. Whereas you'll see a lot of that will. So finally, homeowners planning to sell within a few years may opt to buy a solar system because it can increase the value of a home. Those who decide to go with a solar lease are often more concerned with sourcing their electricity from a clean, renewable source and want to start enjoying cost-saving benefits immediately. They are looking for a hassle-free way to use solar power without having to pay upfront costs, take out loans, or deal with long-term maintenance. If you can't decide whether leasing or buying a solar panel system is more beneficial for you, contact us for a free consultation. Our team of experts will complete a thorough evaluation of each homeowner's needs and goals for making our recommendations. What are the benefits of buying a solar panel system? Now, guys, the reason why we really press this into your knowledge base is because if you really understand the benefit you're giving that consumer, your loved one, family member, church member, somebody you work with, or maybe somebody you don't even know. Maybe they call you, right, because they know you sell solar now. With all of the solar energy financing options available to us, choosing whether to buy or lease solar systems can be difficult. Buying is a great option, especially since the solar power systems is an investment. While the cost of a solar power system varies, rebates and solar energy tax credits can actually reduce the cost by up to 30%. And again, that's just the federal investment tax credit, guys. If they live in a state where they can get a state incentive for rebate, and obviously if their local utility is giving PDIs, you're talking about massive, massive savings on any power system. And again, I'll give you the example of all the Tesla cars. They sold out within hours. Why? Because everybody was trying to take advantage of that federal investment tax credit. And it happens like literally, I ask people all the time, hey, why did you go put $1,000 down on the Tesla? And they said, look, that's the only time I'm going to be able to purchase a car that nice at that price because the federal government is allowing me to redirect the money that I was going to pay them in taxes anyway, which is a good strategy. Same thing for solar, guys. It's the same strategy. A lot of people, a lot of businesses are looking to not only lower their operational costs, but also redirect some of that money that they're going to pay in tax revenue anyway. They're going to pay it in taxes. They might as well do two things. They might as well make an investment for their operational costs and then not pay as much taxes. So one of the main benefits of owning a solar energy system is that you may not pay a monthly solar payment. Buying solar panels often means maintaining them. When that's the case, homeowners are usually surprised to discover that most solar panel systems require little to no maintenance. Here at Nikki Lou's Solar Rescue, our solar panel systems come with a 25-year protection plan. We handle all repairs and insurance at no extra cost to you. So why should you lease a solar panel system? Leasing a solar power system is the best option if you want a cleaner, more affordable alternative to traditional energy, delivering with little or no upfront cost. There's no upkeep, no need to consult with an accountant to take advantage of tax credits, and at the end of the lease, you may have the option to upgrade to a new system featuring the latest solar technology. Now, leasing a solar system is a hassle-free way to lock in low, affordable energy rates, which means your savings grow over time when rates go up unpredictably. You start saving as soon as your solar energy system is switched on. When you lease, your solar panels are installed for free and they're maintained at no cost. Hold on. I lost my slide. Oh, here we go. And they're maintained at no cost to you for the duration of your solar lease. If you move, you can just transfer your solar lease to the new owner. To find out what plans are available in your area, schedule a free consultation. How can Nikki Lou Solar Rescue help you save money? Whether you decide to buy or lease solar panels, you can save money on your energy bills from the moment your system is installed. Not only does solar power often cost less than other forms of power generation, leasing a solar energy system means paying a locked-in fixed rate for your power, guys. So your savings go up when energy prices do. You can prepay some or all of your solar electricity rates, so you don't have to worry about monthly bills. Even better, there are often no upfront costs when you lease, so you can start saving immediately. How much you save will depend on the size of your solar panel system usage and whether you've opted to lease or buy solar panels. And something may even credit you for the excess energy your solar power system generates. Nikki Lou's Solar Rescue will determine how you can save the most on your energy bills and design a solar energy system that's just right for your home. So once again, guys, ultimately we make money off of people purchasing, right? So if you need to do a lease, yeah, we can do a lease, but then we make money off of just their consumption. We don't make money off of an actual purchase. So the reason why we sell 95% of the time is because our agents want to make that $2,000 deal. And they don't want to have to wait, 25 years to get paid, because when we're getting paid by consumption on the lease, it's every month depending on their consumption, whether it's 1,000 kilowatts, 2,000 kilowatts. So literally, they'll do anything from a 1 year up front or 6 months up front, but it just doesn't have the same power pack payday that an actual financing option or outright purchase has for you. So this is one of the main reasons why yesterday we're telling you we target selling the system, right, to the homeowner or the business, because our agents make a lot more money that way. So do solar panels work at night? You'll get this question a lot because some people ask, they still ask me. And solar panels installed on your roof work best during daylight hours, obviously. When the sun is shining directly onto them, sunlight can be converted into electricity. Your solar panel efficiency drops at night because there is no sunlight to convert to electricity, and solar panels can't generate power in darkness. However, Nikki Lou Solar Rescue works with companies that have designed solutions to power your home in an affordable and environmentally friendly ways. Even at night, your solar panels generate so much power during a sunny day that any excess power you don't use immediately is conserved and put into the utility grid. The surplus power generated by your solar panels offsets the energy used at night. At night, you're using power from the utility grid. And this is one of the main reasons why everybody's still connected to the grid, guys, is because if, let's say, your system isn't offsetting 100 or 110% of your electricity load, whatever you're consuming, right? Maybe you have 70% offset. Well, guess what? You're still going to have to generate your power somewhere, right? And that's why a lot of people are connected to the grid. So just as you normally would have before you install the solar panel, right? It's possible that you won't have to pay out of pocket for it. Utility companies appreciate excess solar energy. Therefore, most states have approved homeowners with solar panel systems to sell or receive a credit for the surplus power they produce. How efficient are solar panels? Nikki Lou Solar Rescue's partner panels are some of the most efficient in the industry. We will install a special utility meter and a monitoring system that that on days where your system produces more solar power than your home needs, you will add power to the utility grid. Some utility companies may even view the surplus energy as a credit towards your account. Rest assured, your solar panels will help offset costs at night. Your efficient solar panels will continue to generate power whether you are at home or not. You don't have to turn on or turn off your solar panels depending on when you are in your home. It's not like the kitchen light or the TV, which needs to be turned on to save, or sorry, which needs to be turned off to save electricity and money on the utility bill. Solar panels are highly efficient and are always working, generating power during hours of sunlight and during cloudy weather. Now, obviously, guys, if it's cloudy outside, you're not going to have maximum efficiency. The best, the best efficiency comes from a ground mount at 180 southern degree tilt. The reason why that is because they get the most sun exposure. Now, a lot of people aesthetically like them on the roofs because it takes up less space, right? And they're still efficient. Remember, these panels are getting more and more and more efficient. So what that means is the return on investment is greater for your clients in the future. So how can Nikki Lou Solar Rescue help once more? Nikki Lou Solar Rescue delivers complete solar energy solutions from start to finish. Our strategic partners have helped tens of thousands of homeowners enjoy clean, affordable energy. We're a full-service solar sales and installation provider that handles every detail while our customers sit back, relax, and watch everything come together seamlessly. We love getting customers connected to solar electricity and hearing how much they have saved on their utility bills. Guys, literally, as soon as they have a solar power system that is connected and cranking out energy, the utility bills, once they get their first utility bill, it's like they literally call us back and they're like, man, I knew that solar power worked, but literally I never in my wildest dreams thought that I could offset that much of my consumption every month. And which is a good thing, right? Because literally, if not only we're getting them that investment tax credit, but we're lowering their operational costs, you look like a champion all day long to those customers. So what is the lifespan of a solar panel? A solar panel typically lasts approximately 25 to 30 years. During that time, most systems require little to no maintenance beyond removing leaves or snow and hosing off debris. In general, the life of solar panels depends on the quality of the solar panel technology used, including the photovoltaics, the PV, and the quality of the overall installation. Because again, remember, guys, there are some installations that based on shade coverage, based on the degree, based on if it was a roof mount on somebody's roof or a ground mount, the efficiency can be altered by a lot of different factors. But you don't have to worry about that. We have a team. We have a team of CAD designers. We have a team of installation professionals. We have project managers. We have engineers. They will make sure to maximize all these details for your consumer. So annually, solar panels lose close to 0.5% in overall performance. After 25 years of operation, high-quality solar panels will still be operating at almost 90% efficiency. The modules we install in homes and businesses are efficient, lightweight, and aesthetically pleasing. More importantly, they're cost-effective and extremely efficient. With wiring, mounted panels are flush to the roof. So you may ask, how can I make my solar panels last longer, right? Because a lot of people are about maximizing their investment. Other components protected by premium trim may have a longer lifespan. While all solar systems operate at reduced efficiency over time, well-maintained conditions and optimal climates may help your solar panel system continue operating for years longer. Solar panels can actually protect your roof from the damaging effects of weather. Homeowners are often surprised at how low maintenance a solar panel system is. But even so, guys, we leave nothing to chance. When it comes to how long solar panels last, all Nikki Lou solar rescue systems come with a 25-year protection plan that includes 24/7 lifetime monitoring. Should repairs be necessary, our highly trained team of technicians will address the problem as quickly as possible. How can Nikki Lou Solar Rescue help? And again, we're all about helping. So solar power is the reliable, safe, and eco-friendly alternative to energy source from coal and gas. If you've always wanted to draw your electricity from a clean, renewable source, but were wary of the costs associated with solar and the challenges of installation, this is the time to take another look at solar. Once again, guys, if you were a consumer and you had to worry about going to your local HOA to ask if it's okay for you to put a solar system, going to your city to get permitting, yeah, the task could be daunting. But we take care of all of that. And for you, our consultants, right, and our management, the beauty we have is now you just have to worry about having people fill out paperwork. And then once they get accepted, for financing, basically you get paid. So we have streamlined this process because we want you talking to people. We want you doing what you're best at, which is connecting people with information. So let's talk about the price of solar panels is lower than ever, and federal tax credits may cover 30% of the cost of a solar system. Whether you are considering leasing a solar system or buying a system outright, our energy advisors can take you from financing all the way through design and installation. Now, because every structure and household is different, how much money you save using solar power with Nikki Lou Solar Rescue will depend on the size of your system and your average electricity usage. However, you will start saving money on electricity from the moment your solar panel system is switched on. While most Nikki Lou Solar Rescue systems require little to no maintenance over the lifetime of our panels, our custom solar system monitoring solution works 24/7 to ensure that we are notified of problems immediately so we can take care of any repairs quickly. If you want to make a long-term investment and reap the benefits that a solar panel system provides, contact a Nikki Lou Solar Rescue consultant today. What components, next question is, what components are in a solar system? This is something that Giovanni was asking yesterday. So Gio, this one's especially for you. So making the decision to install a solar power system means having a full understanding of how creating renewable energy works. While it may seem like a complicated process, simple steps are taken to convert the sun's rays into electrical energy for your home. There are 6 components of a solar power system as shown through this solar panel diagram that will harness the sun's energy and make it your own. All right, so let's talk about number 1, solar panels. When properly installed, solar panels directly convert the sun's rays into direct current, or DC. These panels are made up of photovoltaic cells and are placed on a home's roof in direct sunlight for optimal use. Now, the inverter, which is now, guys, the microinverter, because aesthetically it's more pleasing and they're more efficient. When the sunlight hits a solar cell, its photons are converted into electrons of DC electricity that flow through an inverter where they are converted into an alternating current, AC power. This is the electricity that powers your home. So basically, guys, it comes in as DC and gets converted to AC. That way you can, turn on your TV. That way you can recharge your phone so you can go play Pokemon Go or go play on Facebook. And the system is pretty ingenious because once you see how they all work, it's phenomenal. Now, the electrical panel. Once sent from the inverter, the AC power is sent to the electrical panel, also commonly known as a breaker box. Now, the utility meter, also known as a net energy meter. A utility meter helps the consumers keep track of how much solar power is produced throughout the day. When you generate more power than you can use, the meter actually works in reverse and sends that power to the utility grid, thus offsetting the energy you use at night. Now, let's talk about your household or business will still be connected to the utility grid because it will need to draw power from it at night. However, the cost of using the grid's electricity is offset by the amount of energy you put into it during the day. Now let's talk about the perfect power system. This can optimize your solar system and reduce EM radiation while simultaneously increasing the longevity and effectiveness of the electrical equipment in your home. This power conditioning system helps to protect your appliances and electronics from power surges and other unwanted electric disturbances. With the Aris Perfect Power System installed, your home can now utilize more of the electricity you produce with solar. This device will filter the electricity coming into your home. And guys, the reason why that's so important is because a lot of times when you're generating this much power, you can have some surges, right? And if you don't have surge protection, and let's say your TV blows or computer blows or your iPad, you have it connected, right? There's nothing you can do about it. So what we always tell people is obviously you want to have homeowners insurance, right? Which is one of the biggest steps. But two, you want to make sure that you have the Aris Perfect Power System because that will make sure that all the energy being converted is being converted in a smooth way. So resulting in a safer and healthier home environment. What are solar modules? Solar modules are the heart of solar energy systems. These panels come in three types. So you have monocrystalline, polycrystalline, and amorphous silicon, also known as thin film. Monocrystalline and polycrystalline silicon are the two most commonly used styles of panels due to high performance and quality of electrical output. Designing the module array is the key to making your home or business energy efficient. Nikki Lou Solar Rescue can help you create the most efficient solar panel system by providing homeowners a self-guided tour of their energy use. This energy consultation will pinpoint sources of inefficiencies and rank energy saving improvements by cost and savings. Now, installing a proper array of solar modules will help consumers create a more energy efficient home. There are a few steps homeowners can take to see even greater savings once they switch to solar. Now, these steps, guys, are basically steps that we give our clients. And when you tell them this, you're going to look like gold because all you're trying to do is make sure they understand that you are well versed in energy efficiency and benefiting their bottom line, their operational costs. So properly insulating your home will reduce heating and cooling costs. Installing double pane low emissivity windows will reduce drafts. And sealing small holes and cracks in the walls, window panes, and door jambs will save energy costs and keep allergens out. Sealing your furnace duct system will heat or cool your home evenly, as well as save you money on your energy bills. Replacing old appliances with Energy Star models. Guys, this is a big one. If people have old washers and dryers or old ovens, old refrigerators, and they go with Energy Star products, the amount of consumption will go down drastically, and they can even get rebates and credits from the government for doing that. So again, replacing old appliances with Energy Star models, that's a big one because if you go into somebody's house and they ask you how else they can benefit and you tell them about that, they'll love you forever. So how can Nikki Lou Solar Rescue help? And again, the question is asked because we want you to understand you're going to help a ton of people. At Nikki Lou Solar Rescue, our goal is to accelerate mass adoption of sustainable energy. As America's future largest solar power provider, we will serve thousands of homeowners and business owners. We guarantee our work and have industry-leading coverage regarding solar monitoring and repairs. Our team of in-house specialists will stick with you every step of the way. We will help with every aspect, including designing your solar panel system and financing your investment. We want to change the way our customers create renewable energy. We can show you how switching to solar available in solar modules is advantageous to you and the environment. If you want to make a change to solar power, contact Nikki Lou Solar Rescue Consultant today. Our commitment to saving you energy and money extends beyond the roof. And guys, I leave that page at the bottom open so that you can write notes. And that is day 2 training, guys. As you can tell, that training is, again, a foundation, right? Tomorrow on day 3 training, we'll get into the paperwork, we'll get into policies and procedures, but I really want you to understand that you have the ability to now know what you're talking about. You have the ability to now educate people on what solar is on not just what solar is, but also the benefits, right? So if you think about it, let me just change this to discussion real quick. All right, guys, so now we are in discussion mode. So if you think about what you've had the first 2 days is just a foundation of knowledge. And the reason why we give you this foundation of knowledge, guys, is because we want you to understand that when you go out there, you're going to be so confident about what you're doing that nobody will be able to question the fact that you know what solar power is, what the policies and procedures are, how all these, how the system actually is constructed and what it does. Like literally now nobody will be able to ask you a question that will catch you off guard. Now, will they have some questions that are off the wall? Of course. Everybody every so often has a question that we're like, why did they ask that question? But it happens. So that being said, guys, the lines are now open. We are in discussion mode. Do we have any questions about day 2 training or day 1 training? Deanne and David, can you talk a little more about energy costs is locked in? Yes, ma'am. So, Deanne, can you hear me? Do you have your mic on? Can you turn your mic on so that I can discuss this with you?
Okay, got it on.
Perfect. Okay, Deanne. So you want me to discuss more about energy costs as far as locked in? Do you understand what a fixed versus a variable cost on energy is? First and foremost.
Yes, but I didn't know you could set that up as a company.
Well, so as an example, and the reason why I wanted you to open that up is because I wanted to really understand what you want to know about a fixed cost. So as a fixed cost, just like, and if you want to mute your mic out so that there's no echo, now that I understand your question, I got it 100%. So Becky, mute out your mic real quick. Bam, there we go. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Okay, so just like you have a contract right now where you either have a fixed rate or a variable rate, right, or an index price, index meaning price of natural gas. So just like if, let's say that you were paying 9 cents, right? You're paying 9 cents for electricity right now, but you have a 12-month contract with Direct Energy. Or you have a variable contract that's month to month, and you're not paying 9 cents, you're paying 13 cents. Solar power is the same way because you're locking in solar power for the on a power purchase agreement. You're locking power in for 10, 15, 25 years. If let's say power's at 9 cents and you're getting it for 7 cents, then that's what a power purchase agreement would be. So whatever you negotiate with the said company is what you'll be paying as a fixed rate for in the future. So even if rates skyrocket, right? Because again, rates have been going up and down, but they hardly ever go down. They mostly go up. Even if they skyrocket, it doesn't matter because you have a long-term fixed rate no matter what. Does that answer your question, Miss Deanne?
Yes, I just did not realize that the power companies would make a long-term commitment locking you in. So that's nice to know.
Solar power. So the solar power company, not the utility company. Remember, the utility company maintains the poles and wires. The utility company comes out in case of emergencies. They check your meter, right? So like, I think, Deanne, you said you live in Irving, right?
Right.
So like when the power goes out, we don't call TXU, we don't call Direct Energy, we call Encore, right? So
correct.
The fixed rate deals with the retail electricity provider or your solar power provider, not the utility company.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so.
So once again, because I want you to get it 100%. So like you and I right now, we both live in DFW. And let's just say that you have TXU and I have Champion Energy, right? So if you have TXU and I have Champion, so you are, let's say you're on a 12-month contract. Do you know if you're on a contract or do you have a month-to-month rate right now?
We have a contract.
And we have a contract.
We're Champion.
Champion. Okay, so let's just say you have Champion, right? And so when that contract comes up, you have a choice. Do you want to stay with Champion or do you want to go out and find a better rate? You can pick Frontier, you can pick TXU, Spark, you name it. There's so many companies, right? But if you decide not to pick a fixed rate, then what happens? You get thrown into a variable month-to-month rate, where you have no control over the price. So again, the local utility doesn't have anything to do with your price points. So what's going to happen is the solar power company is going to act as your REP once your solar system, if you have a power purchase agreement, right? Then if you have a power purchase agreement, you're buying power from the solar company that installed your panels. Does that make sense?
I did not catch that was how that was going to work.
No, but I'm just talking about power purchase agreements because you're asking about fixed rates, right? So that happens on the power purchase agreement. If you purchase a system and you're offsetting, just as an example, 80% of your load, so 80% of your load is offset, we're still going to have to write 20% of that person's electricity in a contract, right? So we give our consultants the ability to write deals when that time comes. But if somebody's offsetting their energy usage by 100%, then they don't have to worry about any utility company or any retail electricity provider. Does that make sense? Because
Yes.
they're offsetting total electrical load. It doesn't matter what their cost is because they don't have to pay it. They're offsetting. A lot of people will get 115% offset. If they're going to offset their entire load, they're going to offset it by 115%. Because remember, at 100% efficiency, you have to worry about things like storms. You have to worry about things like shade. You have to worry about things like cloudy days. So 100% efficiency could possibly be 98, 99, right? 95. So that's why many people, when they're going to offset completely, they go 110, 115, 120, as far as the system size. So any other questions as far as like how the fixed rate would work or how the offset would work? You can always call me. If you have any other questions, you can always call me. Do people choose to upfront what they decide to offset? Yes, they do. So great question, Justin and Becky. So let's say at the beginning, when we go do a consultation, our team will do a photometric, right? They'll do a photometric, and it will allow it'll allow the consumer to see, how many panels we can fit on their roof or how many panels we can fit on a ground mount. And then also we'll give them options. We'll say, hey, look, this is the offset at 70%, this is the offset at 80, this is the offset at 40. And then in that proposal, because remember, it's just a proposal, the proposal's free, it'll have a price point on there. So Justin and Becky, they'll have the ability to say, well, you know what? Because I'm paying $20,000 for 45% offset. Hey, I'd much rather pay the $35,000 and do 75% offset. So they have the ability to choose what the offset is, guys. Does that answer your question, Justin and Becky? We'll give them different options though, so that way they have it. If the customer leases, then we get paid based on consumption. So we don't get paid when somebody purchases the system. We get paid obviously $2,000 up front, right? But if they're leasing, then it's based on whatever the contractual agreement is. They get paid based on what the consumption is of the lease. Yes, so it's locked in at that point, correct. Justin and Becky, locked in as far as the size? You're talking about the size of the system when they choose? Yes, correct. So once they choose it, as an example, once they go to financing, Justin and Becky, then what happens is, let's just say that, as an example, the average system is 6.5 kW. And so if it's 6.5 kW and they go in and they say, hey, we're offsetting 40% of our load, and the finance terms, once they sign the financing, once they sign the paperwork, then that's locked in. So yes, correct. The beautiful thing about it, guys, as an example, if right now Justin, Becky, or Dee or somebody got let's say you had a client today, right, and you got their utility bill. Normally, what we do is we'll look at 12 months of their utility bills, and then we'll do a build out depending on what their historical usage data is for that year. So as long as you can get one bill, we can do a photometric. We can kind of build a historical database based on one bill. Obviously, if they can get us 12 bills, it's way more efficient for us, right? Because then we see what the total kilowatt consumption is for the year. But even if you got one bill, you can actually go in and build it out, right? So ultimately, if you can get a bill, as an example, does anybody live in a home? Does Justin, Becky, Deanne, or David, do y'all live in a home? Deanne and David, Justin and Becky. Okay, so as an example, what I want y'all to do, so I can give y'all actual examples, is if you want to email me an actual bill, what I'll do is I will send it off to my guy that does the CAD work, that does the photometrics, so you can see what it looks like. I'll even have them do build a proposal so y'all can see it. That way you can see an actual proposal in your hands. How does that sound? Because ultimately, look, the best way for me to get you to see this and really understand it is just so you can see an actual proposal, right? And tomorrow we're going to get more into the paperwork. But in the meantime, what I want to do is today I'll get with my boy Cody and I'll have him do 2 build outs. He will use Google Earth. He'll locate your property. He'll take a snapshot of it. He'll build out the CAD. He'll do the photometrics. It's pretty freaking cool. That's all he does all day long is he does these photometrics for all our teams. And again, remember, a proposal is just a proposal. Until people go to financing and they purchase, like say, a financing deal, then that's when we start installing. So, oh, it doesn't matter. I just want you to see what the proposal looks like. Yeah. So even if y'all don't own the house, guys, it's okay because I'm just going to show y'all what the proposal looks like for your home. What is the turnaround time from accepting a proposal to completion of installation? That's just dependent on what the location is. So, as an example, in El Paso, Texas, right now, because there's only one HOA out there and we can get permits pretty quick, we can go from signature to complete installation in 14 to 21 days. The average is about 30 to 60 days from the time they sign because every city's different. Every HOA is different, right? You have to go to a town meeting, whatever, whatever. But ultimately, right now we have areas like El Paso, San Antonio, Austin. Those seem to be the fastest ones right now because they're adopting solar energy really quickly. And then obviously in DFW and Houston, it can take between 30 and 60 days, just depending on the permitting involved and obviously the HOA. So does that answer your question, Deanne and David?
Yes.
Awesome. Great question. So Deanne, can you mute your mic out? We've got a little bit of background noise. Thank you, madam. So yeah, guys, literally, if you have, and again, we're going to help you build a team. So if you have any connection El Paso, if you have any connections out in San Antonio, if you have any connections out in Austin, Dallas, Houston, right, South Carolina, California, literally, we right now are leading sales teams all around the nation. And again, we can train people online. Literally, we have stuff, we have tools where they can actually review the information online, get up to speed, get some questions answered, and obviously people can make money, right? So not yet. We're getting into Georgia and Florida in the next 30 to 60 days. No Arkansas. Right now, just so y'all know, we're in California, we're in Nevada, we're in Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, South Carolina. In the next 30 to 60 days, we'll be in Georgia and Florida. Okay, I will address that. Thank you. If that's the case, I'll go back and look at the webinar and then I'll re-record it without anybody on it. Not a big deal. Any other questions, guys? Okay, one more question, then we'll end this training session so you can get on with your beautiful Friday morning. We are good. The wealth of information. Awesome. Well, normally, Justin and Becky, that's what the proposal's for. When they want information, we show them the actual proposal, go over it with them, and tomorrow we'll get more into the report. So that's why tomorrow, day 3, you are getting a little bit ahead of yourself. But before we give our bill, what do we tell people? What do we tell people when they say, yeah? So that's the proposal. The actual proposal will have all the information we go over with. Like tomorrow, you'll get to see proposals, right? And then today, what I'll do is I'll get Cody to do just a proposal, just so y'all can see it for your homes, just so you can have that for your resource. And the call is recorded. Yes, Giovanni. So yeah, Justin, Becky, don't forget, it's just a proposal. There's nobody locks nobody into anything without a signature. I just want you to see the photometrics. So you're going to be able to see the photometrics, the actual proposal, and it's pretty awesome. And that's what you'll be able to give people. It's a pretty seamless process, and it explains everything. And all we do is we go over the information with the consumer. So just tell them we can get them all the info as soon as we get them. Yeah, so basically when we connect, so let me just tell you the process. Let me ask you real quick, Justin and Becky, do you have any sales experience? Have you all been in sales or any kind of customer service? Yes? Oh, awesome. Even better. All right, guys, so when you connect somebody, right, being able to connect with somebody, build rapport, what we do is we just ask, we're question-based marketers. So we'll ask questions like, hey, have you heard of the benefits of solar energy? There's so many people adopting solar around here, and they're getting something called an investment tax, a 30% investment tax credit. Have you heard about that? And as an example, if it's a loved one, a family member, somebody you work with, somebody in your church, and they'll be like, no, I've heard things, but I just don't understand it. Well, great. What you want to do is you want to make sure that they understand that you know a little more about solar, right? And the reason why you know more about solar, as an example, is you want to help people lower their operational costs, and you want to help people understand how solar works. Because right now, guys, everybody on this webinar has a base in these first 2 days. You know 90% about solar. All we're lacking right now is the policies, procedures, and the proposals, which is basically 10%. And right now, you have more knowledge as far as how net metering works, how a solar system works, how literally the PPAs, the leases, the purchases. There's so many people out there that have no clue whatsoever. They don't even know what net metering is for, and they want to get a solar system or they want to sell it. So as far as educating the people, they'll have questions, right? These trainings provide the foundation for you. So the fact that you, Justin and Becky, sell cars, man, that's phenomenal. You run into people on a daily basis that can benefit from installing a solar system. So remember, question-based marketing. Hey, have you heard how you can offset your energy load by 75% with solar, right? And we'll talk a little more about that in rebuttal training, sales. We call it sales process training. But don't forget to call me, because obviously, if you sell cars, you have a certain pitch, right? We'll go over a certain pitch with each and every one of you, because everybody has a different approach. And as an example, if I went onto the car lot and Justin or Becky were there selling cars, right? If I went on there, he's like a shark. He'd come up to me, hey, that's a nice car. Are you looking to purchase a brand new car, get a rebate? Let's say it was a Tesla, right? Have you heard about that 25% federal investment tax credit on that Tesla? Man, I can get you a Tesla with $1,000 down right now. Everybody has a pitch for any product or services. And what we'll do, oh, Becky sells, awesome. So what we'll do, guys, is we'll work with each and every one of you on a certain pitch. Pitch just meaning, how do you get, right? There's so many different ways that you can do it. So does that make sense, Becky? Literally, because you already sell cars, this will be easy. You already have to deal with people on a daily basis. All right, guys, and don't forget, let me put my number. Everybody text me today, because I want to make sure I have your numbers. Text me on my mobile device so I can have your names, numbers, and that way, if you have any questions or you need any follow-up, you need me to help you close a deal, anything that you need, you have my personal number. And then everybody has Brian Johnson's number. So don't forget, guys, Brian Johnson and I, we've been in sales pretty much our whole lives. So when it comes to, you can even ask Brian Johnson, we had to close the United Way of the greater Houston area, and they were looking at other companies, and now they're looking at our company. It's just about the foundation of knowledge combined with passion. Everybody on this webinar has passion, right? And now you're getting the knowledge. You combine that with a little bit of hustle, guys, you could turn this into a massive primary income. All right, guys. So look, it is now 9:07, or actually, that's California time. It is now 11:07 Central Standard Time in the great state of Texas. I'm going to go ahead and end this webinar. But now that everybody has my direct line, make sure you text me, email me a copy of your utility bill so I can get a photometric proposal out to y'all, just so y'all can check it out. And then tomorrow in day 3 training, we'll do it at 11 a.m. So tomorrow, 11 a.m., a Saturday, July 16th, 11 a.m., we're going to go into policies, procedures, paperwork, and the proposals. I want y'all to see the proposals. That way, once you see how easy it is to qualify people and get them the information, you're never going to want to go back to selling cars. You're never going to want to go back to a 9-to-5 job. Like literally, guys, this is something that is booming. They call it the next oil boom, and it's solar energy. So that being said, my name is Max Garza III. I wish you nothing but the best, and anything you need from us, give us a call. God bless, and this webinar is now adjourned. Thank you so much, guys.